Hello everyone, once again, and welcome to another episode of this segment. This week we will be talking about meditation and the many benefits that it offers. Because I did have someone recently request another one of these meditation videos, because I'm assuming that they have questions that they would like to be answered. So, sticking to that subject, what many benefits that you may or may not know about that meditation might offer. I'm going to have to tell you a story in order to make you understand what exactly it is that meditation is. And it's a short story, I promise you that. And I'll try not to get off track too much. But meditation is basically a supercharged mindset. It's somewhat of a trance, if you will. But it's not like... The trance-like state is meant to increase your focus, increase your mental capabilities, almost supercharge any part of your mind that deals with concentration and memory and focus and different aspects of your life, that it takes control of something that you've lost control of. Because many people throughout their day may or may not realize this, but they're observing things on a daily basis, and regardless of whether you realize it or not, just small things make a difference. Stuff like color. You should wear brighter colors, because apparently it's practicing color therapy. Color therapy is something that, like red, for example, and I'll get to the story that I was just talking about 1 second ago. But red, for example, is a very sexually charged color. Believe it or not, it's very aggressive. So, women who go to extra lengths to wear like the red lipstick, and they might wear like a red tank top dress, may or may not realize it, but that's really subconsciously, that's really somewhat triggering to most guys who may or may not have a certain sex drive charged. Now it's supercharged thanks to, a girl who decided to wear one of those red tank top dresses with the red slippers and you see a theme here: the red lipstick, maybe the red nails. Maybe she's trying to send you a signal. Maybe she just thinks it's a cute color, Pink is very calming, for instance. And so is purple. Very calming, and it stands for somewhat love. It's supposed to, relay a little bit of attraction, but in a subtle way, not really like red, the color red, rather not really like any sort of movie reference or anything that I'm trying to make. But there are different aspects that play into meditation that you may or may not realize it on a subconscious level. And like I said, it's somewhat of a trance. It's somewhat of a supercharged mindset that you... hard to understand, but once you get like the grasp of it, it's easy to comprehend, if that makes sense. And it should make sense. It should make an abundance of sense. But the story focuses around a man who is in the hospital, and he's in his 40s. So he's kind of young, He's not exactly too old, but the man in question is having memory trouble. He's having trouble remembering certain things, like his daughter came to him and he looked at her in the hospital. According to this story, he looks at her and he says, "Who are you?" And his wife had to remind him who his daughter was. At the age of 23, his daughter was in tears. She didn't realize that her dad was so drained of his emotions, so drained of the color in his eyes. You know, his own daughter, he didn't recognize her at 23 years old. It must have been somewhat upsetting to him, and for him to be in his 40s and his daughter to be in her 20s, sounds like he was a father at a young age. Either that or the story doesn't add up. Or maybe he got with a younger girl. I mean, somewhat inconsistency in the story could or could not be. Maybe it's a misconception on my part. Maybe I got something wrong. Maybe he's not in his 40s. But according to the story that I'd read years ago, I'm pretty sure that they said he was like 47 or 46 years old. He could be older today. Sorry, Nat. Nonetheless, what I mean to say is that it must have really drained the life out of his daughter for her to realize that her father was in such dire straits. So, and in one way or another, he realized who his wife was. So he wasn't completely gone as far as his mental capabilities goes. His wife went ahead and decided it was a good idea for him to try meditation. And over the course of 3 meditation sessions in 2 weeks, so like maybe there was 2 in that first week that she had introduced him to meditation, and then maybe there was 1 meditative session the next week, or maybe it was split, the opposite way. 2 in the next week, and then 1 the week that she tried to introduce him to meditation. Nonetheless, she went ahead and decided it was a good idea for him to try some meditation. He tried some meditation. He tried some yoga. He did some breathing exercises. He basically came to a point in his life where his memory came back to him. He could remember better. He could almost like see a cognition change, if you will. His brain didn't seem like it was dissipating anymore, and his memory came back to him. And in the same way that it also helps memory, it's also been proven to help cancer patients. Here's one thing that really gets me, and it really irks me, really just makes me want to just shoot a doctor in the head whenever they say that medical marijuana is somewhat of a godsend, or for that matter, that it's some miracle drug that people should practice taking because of the fact that it could help you cope with your cancer, or with your chemotherapy, or with your whatever the hell that medical marijuana without THC, or CBD oils, or any of that bullshit that people try to feed other people about medical marijuana. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to shatter your entire existence. The fact that meditation can help cancer patients not only to find remission, but also to shrink their cancer cells as if they never existed. The meditation that I'm talking about is called hypnosis. Now, a lot of you are already gasping at the very fact that I said hypnosis, because the last time that you checked, hypnosis was a form of mind control, and it can be used as mind control. You are correct. And if you don't believe me, story time. Once again, provided I can pump this story out and not make this video too long. As we're just now hitting the 10-minute mark. But hypnosis was used in a, okay, so if you've ever watched America's Got Talent, there was a man who came onto the stage, and if you're aware that Howie Mandel is a complete and utter germaphobe, he asked Howie Mandel to get on stage with him, and when he did, Howie was kind of reluctant, kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should get on stage, and, you know, what are you going to do, and, you know, he was asking him a lot of questions, you know, kind of like, and if you know, Howie Mandel, if I haven't already said it, I don't remember if I said it just 5 seconds ago, is a germaphobe. Keep that in mind while I take you down memory lane. This man presented Howie Mandel with a hypnosis session. He hypnotized him, and whenever he snapped his fingers and he met Howie Mandel, he put his hand out as if he was going to shake his hand. And if you know anything about Howie Mandel, you know that he doesn't shake people's hands, he always fist bumps. For further evidence that this was not like a ruse or anything, there was actually a crowd member, a member in the crowd that the cameraman panned over to in and out, up and down, because the cameraman wasn't legally allowed to show the hypnosis session, so instead he had to, like, you know, do camera tricks up and down, left and right, you know, side to side, you know, he had to move like MC Hammer around the whole debauchery of hypnosis that was being showed while Howie Mandel was practically being hypnotized. But for further, just to prove to you that it wasn't Howie just acting like some sort of puppet on a string just because NBC told him that they would pay him, you know, more, $30,000 more if you act like you're hypnotized in this session that we're about to air. There was a woman in the crowd that the cameraman kept panning to, and she was also hypnotized. And when she got out of her trance, when the man actually snapped his fingers and said something along the lines of, Howie, when I snap my fingers, you will be, you know, you again, back to where you were. Howie came to, but he didn't realize, he didn't know anything. He was completely dumbfounded about what had happened when he was hypnotized by this man on America's Got Talent. And obviously his vote doesn't count, whether he got a yes or a no from Howie Mandel, because Howie can't remember anything. And if you don't know how America's Got Talent works, people display their talents in front of judges, celebrity judges nonetheless, such as singing and what have you. You know, some people bring pets, they'll do dog tricks, they'll do a lot of, you know, juggling and stuff like that. For a man to hypnotize somebody else on live television is one of, I mean, that's just amazing. That shouldn't be America's Got Talent. That should be America's Amazing. But to use hypnosis in such a foul way would practically expel you from practicing hypnosis ever again. It might even get you the death penalty. But if you're looking for a way to get over your fears, to get over certain personality disorders, for instance, not only can hypnosis cause certain personality disorders if not done correctly, but also it can almost end certain personality disorders. So let's say you yourself, let's say your name is Becky. Let's say that Becky is afraid of commitment. All this person would have to do, or for example, I'm sorry, I just got so many ideas running through my head. You want to quit smoking cigarettes? Snap your fingers, you know, do a few dances, I don't know, fucking do a few meditation sessions under the guidance of a hypnotherapist, and I'm sure that even though it might cost you an arm and a leg, because hypnotherapy might just cost like out the ass, but if you were to want to quit smoking cigarettes, that would be a healthy alternative to just stop within 2 to 3 days. Under one hypnosis session, under 2 hypnosis sessions, maybe, you know, if you're consistent with it, it might take more than one try. But in most cases, most people see that one session of hypnotherapy and bam, they're done. That's all that they have to do. They might have to do a follow-up. They might have to do something of that nature in order to kind of take it to that next level, just to make sure that you're completely done with it, you know, just to make sure that there is no repercussions, or for that matter, there is no past life regressions, for instance. Past life regression is something that people have done under hypnosis as well, where they've practically been like, okay, and who were you in this past life? And then they will tell them who they were in the past life that they believe that they lived in. And then the hypnotherapist will do research and then come back the next session and then tell them, yes, that person did exist, or yes, you're right, you were Hitler in your past life, oh my God, you know. And as scary as that may or may not seem, there are certain aspects of this that can be taken out of context, or for that matter, that can be can't be controlled by us in our living lives. And like I said, subconsciously, it takes a minute. It really takes a minute in order for people to drive themselves to try something like hypnosis, but it is a powerful, powerful feeling from what I understand. I'm not saying that I've been hypnotized before, but it's cured heart arrhythmias, it's cured Alzheimer's, it's cured so many of these common elements that practically just beat humans over the head. Hell, I'm sure if they were willing to put the research into it, that hypnosis could cure COVID-19. But nope. Guess what we got to do? We got to try marijuana first. It cures cancer, so it may as well cure COVID-19. Am I right, boys? Oh my God. These people make me sick. Getting to the topic at hand, though, regardless of the fact that hypnosis may or may not be a miracle drug, and yes, it is all natural. Take that. Take that. Hang on, I'll get it in a second. Take that, marijuana, holy crap, marijuana. Marijuana enthusiasts, marijuana. It's like America and marijuana put together, marijuana. Maybe we should name this whole entire country marijuana, because everybody's smoking it anyways, right? What I mean to get around to saying is that, and this video is already pushing 20 minutes, so I'm going to try to end it as soon as possible, and I think that I've made my point abundantly clear. Meditation is the cure. Meditation is the cure for high blood pressure. Meditation is the cure for anger issues. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who have, you know, they feel like they have a temper that they can't control. Oh my God, I'm so mad, I'm so pissed off. And it's something stupid, probably fucking retarded. Excuse me for using these language, but I've seen people get mad over the stupidest things. What? What do you mean we don't have eggs in the fridge? Oh my God. And then they flip out for no fucking reason just because there's no eggs in the fridge. You know, if you would have calmed down for 5 minutes, I would have told you I would have walked down to the store and I would have got you some goddamn eggs. Jesus Christ. They're not that damn important. For that matter, they're not the cause between life and death. I've seen people flip out over stupid reasons like that. For that matter, some people flip out whenever they ain't got marijuana, whenever they ain't got drugs. Maybe it's a withdrawal symptom, maybe it's something, but the good thing about meditation is the fact that there are no symptoms whatsoever of withdrawal. Because it's not considered some sort of a some sort of a drug, some sort of a it's not considered something that should be taken into consider the fact that it's not a man, I'm struggling here. It's not like a drug that you can't live without, that you're not going to, it's not going to make you sick if you're not living without it. You can go weeks and weeks and weeks upon years upon, decades and centuries without meditating. The Shandai Indians, damn, I'm just screwing up here. The Shandai Indians used to meditate on weekly basis because they felt like it cleared them of their distractions. And that's what we have today, is distractions, believe it or not. We spend all day on social media. We spend all day, texting and driving. We spend all day practically just on our phones 24/7. There's never an unplug time limit. You don't just unhook your router, go outside and go camping for about a week. That's unheard of. Maybe that's what the world needs. An unplug. We need to all stand hand by hand, maybe once a week, and meditate on what it is that we need in our lives. Because we take so much for granted. There's a popular song that says you don't know what you got until it's gone. For the most part, that's true. You can meditate on a weekly basis. You can meditate for 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you want to. There are different types of meditations. You should try one. Try 2 a week. If 1 a week isn't sufficient for you, isn't something that you could do, and yes, the more that you do it, the more powerful the feeling is going to get. The more that you do it, the more that you're going to understand, wait a minute, yeah, this feels pretty good. You're going to be able to sleep better. You're going to be able to have a better appetite. Food might taste a little bit better. Colors might seem a little bit brighter, for that matter. The quality of life that you are going to live, I promise you, I am not trying to be a preacher here. The quality of life that you are about to live when you try this is going to exponentially get better. Nothing will drag you down. Nothing will get in your way. You just need to find a quiet place, somewhere where you won't be bothered. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. If you need to, just unhook your router. Turn your notifications off on your phone. Do whatever you need to do. Put on some headphones. Listen to these people. They're not people, but it's in order to bring the meditation up a little bit better, maybe higher frequencies. You want to listen to this YouTube channel called By Natural Beats. And it is amazing. It is just perfection on its highest level. You've sat here and you've probably listened to me rant for 25 minutes now. I'm going to go. I got to go get something to drink. Tomorrow I'm going to get a haircut. greatly appreciate anyone who supports me. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that I answered all your questions, and if you still have any questions, feel free to plug my Instagram now and plug my Twitter now. So P1 underscore Bay Bay, P the number 1 underscore, don't spell underscore, just the actual underscore, just so I'll give you a little bit of clarity so that you're not a smart ass on me. BAY BAY. That's my Twitter. Here's my Instagram. It is Mocha, MOKA underscore, don't spell underscore, once again underscore, MOKA underscore CPR. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on one of those two platforms, because as I said, we take it all for granted, but you know, it's still there whenever we need it. I'm abundantly, how do I say this, because I've been screwing up all day, I need to take a nap. I'm abundantly aware of the fact that I take stuff for granted, and I try not to, but it's so hard not to whenever it's presented to you so much, you know, whenever you have it in abundance. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and appreciate y'all for listening, and stay tuned for more. I should have a wrestling video out in about 3 or 4 days. There's still a few things that I feel like I should address. Thank you so much, and catch you in the next video.